Hello everyone, welcome to SketchaLona. It's my weekly vlog in which I show you the going-ons in my sketchbook while traveling to my heart's content. Wait, isn't that supposed to be the other way around? While last week's episode was a little light on the art, this week's episode, I hope to make up for it.
Pretty good life. Yes. When are we moving out here?
Soon? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Check out these mountains.
So let me show you how we got here. Get out your pineapple juice, a little bit of rum.
Made it to the airport on time. It's time for another holiday within our home.
Facilitate our boarding process on sketchbook line PG6055 bound for Toronto, Busuanga. May we call passengers traveling with infants, small children,
So
elderly guests, and those
we're going to Boracay, which is apparently world famous. I have no idea because I knew very little about the Philippines before coming here.
And I insisted that my friends would keep it a surprise. They found very hard, this trip being 3 months in the making. There was plenty of opportunity for them to simply spill the beans where we would fly out from Manila across the 7,000 islands that make up this archipelago, all the way down south to the province of Visayas, to this tiny little island right over here. Getting to the island was an adventure all on its own, and the 4 days we're about to spend here was somewhat of a double date. So we got Maui over here. Let me introduce you to AJ and Merle. I'm Yann, your host and king purveyor of bad calligraphy. I mean, is that an N or an M? It's kind of the thing I try and get away with as a kid, you know, like when I wasn't sure how to spell correctly and if it was a D or a T at the end in Dutch. But then I did spend an awful lot of time doodling in my notes to make up for it. I even, believe it or not, had a math teacher who gave me a better grade because of the drawings I was always making on my tests. We're talking way back. I don't think you can get away with stuff like that these days, or who knows, maybe teachers are way cooler. What you're looking at right here is Berserk. It's a little character study I'm doing this week for a commission that's coming up next week. More about commissions I'm doing and character sketches at the end of this video. For now, let's kick off our shoes and relax. Hope you have that pina colada ready. Let's dig into the sights and sounds of this island. A little bit more art on the way.
Paradise on earth. Tara. Tara lang gen.
Horrible, isn't it? So we made it to Boracay, we made it to the hotel. I was just talking with AJ about how, considering we got up at about 6:30, we got at the hotel at about 2:30. It's a pretty long journey.
In fact, it's about 350 kilometers.
So it's time for lunch, I'd say.
Yes, time for lunch. Hello. We're in the paradise. Paradise on earth.
I managed to fill up this sketchbook while on this trip. I might do a separate video on that, like just flipping through the pages. Let me know in the comments down below if you're interested. Here's a little sample. Outright copying of art, because that's a good way to practice. drawing for my comic book, just drawing people I come across on YouTube. That was Chris McQuillan right there earlier. Or in the news, and just building up collages, inking, penciling. You know, it's a sketchbook. Anything goes. That was from last week. So while on this trip, I drew my sketchbook like I always do, whether I'm at the office, whether I'm at home. And a sketchbook is, of course, it's a safe place. It's a place where you can do whatever you want. There's no rules, as if there are rules in art anyway. It's funny how lately online, recording this a little later than the actual trip, there's such a furor about people copying their own art and using it again. As much as I've been digging into traditional art and moving further and further away from digital, it seems, especially now that I don't have a computer, but it's a completely different story for a different vlog, following up on this. It's funny how there's such an outcry lately on my feed here on YouTube about people swiping art, copying art and whatnot, when I always thought that, you know, we're free to do whatever we please in our art, and the digital tools make it easier than ever before. You'd be surprised who's guilty of that. In fact, I was actually on Twitter this week looking at Eric Larson's feed, and he was putting up pictures that Bob Kane, creator of Batman himself, swiped up until his dying days.
Oh, hi! Just going back to the hotel for a little nap because we're getting old.
So while walking through D Market, as it's called here, this little village filled with shops with little trinkets to buy and t-shirts with art on them, maybe that's why I kind of go easy on the whole swiping of art, because I just see all these people trying to make a living, and maybe one day they'll steal my art, you know? I'm not even putting watermarks on there when I post it online.
So, we're just finished having lunch at the GP place. We are about to grab a little ice cream because the temperatures are soaring, and then probably some swimming, but I'll spare you the sights. So
I'm gonna get our bill.
yeah. And in the meantime, while we were having lunch here, paper straws, guys. Paper straws. Why can't everywhere have paper straws? I've been doing a little bit of vlogging and editing videos on the go, which has been a while, so it's been a lot of fun putting that all together for you. But I'm really like, what the hell am I supposed to talk about if I've got like 4 or 5 lined up? Anyway, let's check next door. One second. One of the things here at Boracay that is happening is, as I've been told, they've actually shut down the island for about 6 months. Was it under the orders of the president? The orders of the president. Because apparently Boracay was getting a little messy. So they shut it down, and they had a big cleanup of the beaches. And this weekend is actually the first weekend they've reopened the island for tourists. So it's nowhere near as busy as it normally is. As everyone's been saying, like, it's actually even late last night, when it was busy for as far as I was concerned, that's nothing like compared to what it used to be like. Because apparently the island can easily accommodate like 100,000 people. It's the whole town that they've been renovating. It's like every other restaurant is being renovated. So there's so many places that haven't finished renovating and are still closed for business. But everywhere you go, like they're putting down new streets, new sewage systems, new hotels, like everything works. And so it's not quite what I imagine it should be like in prime season. But yeah, it's been fun seeing how people. It's kind of weird, like, you know, for a whole island to be shut down on the orders of the president. It's an odd one out.
But then looking into it a little bit deeper, because I would think of this as like, you know, you have tourist industry, so let the industry pay for the local infrastructure. But it turned out that they killed off all the fisheries by fishing with cyanide in the 1980s. Then, having built up tourism, they killed off the tourist industry with open sewage in the 1990s. And so with another 18 years passing, and meanwhile they're racking up awards for best beaches in the world.
Because we want to preserve Boracay.
I was about to say that.
885.
80 pesos for the service. Okay.
So that's like $12 for.
Yeah, but not bad because you had beef sapicao, I had adobo, and then the mango enchilada. So it's all good.
And drinks.
And drinks too.
And it's happy hour all day long.
Yes. But we're gonna go somewhere near the beach, so you know, it's much better.
Yeah, so let's go get an ice cream.
And speaking of copying and copyrights, I just realized all the music in the background that is so soothing, and it might just get me another copyright strike if I leave it in. Ah, there's that. There's just no escaping it. We should pay artists their dues, of course. I shouldn't have said that I don't put watermarks on the art that I post online, because that is just irresponsible towards the labor of my own. No, fruits, that doesn't come out right, but it's the tropical islandness that is taking over the video. It does remind me of this English student who used to put stuff on DeviantArt and found out that some Chinese factory trawls DeviantArt and just found some of her patterns interesting and put it on plates and boards and all sorts of household items and sold it through Amazon itself. And that's how she came across it. So yeah, that sucks. Maybe my attitude is partly formed working for many years for the Hard Rock Cafe, and having met the founder of Hard Rock Cafe, Isaac Tigrit, a number of times, and his whole attitude towards people outright copying Hard Rock Cafe in places in the world where he hadn't been yet, including my native Amsterdam. There used to be a Hard Rock Cafe right in the red light district. That was a fake Hard Rock Cafe. It'd been there for 30 years until the real Hard Rock Cafe showed up. So
one of the problems, like making this little piece, because we only have so much time before we have to head back to the hotel, because we're getting a new safe delivered. It's one of the things that broke down in the room. So one of the problems I have here is trying to get as much detail in as quickly as possible, while keeping the textures simple enough so I can draw it fast enough. So let me just show you very quickly. So we've got the trees can be silhouettes, but I want some detail in there. We've got the black, we've got the island in the back, very cloudy sky. Some detail in the trees at the front.
mixing it up from black and white and practicing on inks to a little perspective. I sure got a lot of practice in while sipping away on cocktails and eating the fantastic foods over here. Speaking of food, who's hungry?
Crispy pata.
Crispy pata?
Yeah. And then this is pancit sotanghon.
Pancit?
Pancit sotanghon. Then you mix it now before it gets really, toasted. Hi! We're in station 3 and lots of people over this side of the island because they would be doing parasailing or parao sailing. Parao. That's what they call those boats. Parao. Yeah, parao sailing.
Unfortunately, a lot of the nighttime activities did not translate very well on camera. We did bring our own entertainment system with us though. Everyone, and to another special episode of SketchaLona. Today is another beautiful day on tropical paradise. It may seem like miserable weather, but considering the heat and the rash it's given me, this is actually very, very pleasant. So I'm ready. I just do a little swimming, I just do a little drawing, let's see what comes up. So far,
coffee by the beach.
So there's a little video I put up a couple of weeks ago to give you an idea of some of the art that I've been putting together and putting up for sale. I'm making these A5 sized pieces of art. Most of the examples I've made are all Marvel or DC superheroes because it's a topic I enjoy drawing. But they're really to showcase what I can do. And so if you like what you see right here and you'd be willing to commission me, I can draw any character you'd like. Whether it's from TV shows, movies, or from comic books, I am open to suggestions, and you can see my email come by on the screen right now, and it's of course in the links down below. I'll be sure to post another separate video on this topic sometime soon to give you kind of an update how things are going if you're interested in the behind the scenes. But in the meantime, this is a little Netflix Daredevil collage I made the other day at the office. Maui and I have been making our way through season 1 and 2 as she's never seen Daredevil, and I think it is by far best of the Netflix series. So comes our adventure in Boracay to an end. Back to the port, get the boat, get the plane, and back to Manila. So thank you all for coming along for the ride. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed these sights and sounds and Maui's song. Be sure to check out our video down below. And it's time for us to...
Friends.
Friends. That's it.
As we're heading back to Manila and after that Barcelona, thank you for watching. I hope to see you next week when it's time to trade in Filipino fried chicken for regular Kentucky fried chicken.